All right, welcome back. Paris Games Week, Uncharted 4. Uncharted 4 revealed their first demo at last year's PlayStation Experience. They revealed two, I guess you could call it two demos during E3 week. One at the actual Sony press conference, and then the second half of that original E3 demo like a week later or something like that, because fans were really wanting to see it. And word was that it was just absolutely incredible, and it was. It was about a 15-minute demo. So they've shown us two 15-minute chunks of the game, which is half an hour. Carry them, yeah. And now we finally get to see the multiplayer. I'm not a huge Uncharted multiplayer fan, but I do dabble, and I do enjoy myself. So let's see what this one has in store for us. The same people that worked on The Last of Us multiplayer, which I loved. And so hopefully it has that same feel, but still feels like Uncharted. So hopefully they do some really interesting things with this. Enough of me talking, let's go ahead and take a look.
Peggy 16.
Peggy 16. It's very pretty. 60 frames per second? Let me know in the comments.
Get your ass over here!
Oh,
Go ahead, make some friends!
that's really cool.
Go, go, go!
Victor Sullivan, reporting for duty.
Sully, what you doing out there,
Got ourselves a
man?
match on our hands!
Too much for ya? Yeah,
Could not be denied!
Look at the smoke effects.
Thanks. Let's get things into gear. Going down! Let's go find some trouble, shall we?
what goes up must go down.
So awesome. So awesome.
Calling in some assistance.
I got your back.
Pick me up!
Okay, so there's like special.
Let's get you back up.
Assistance
Specialist.
required. Would anyone like to play?
They got me!
Oh, shit. You look better on the ground.
She had to be in the game.
See ya.
Okay.
All coming back to me now.
From Uncharted 3, alright. So they're doing some of the supernatural stuff, which is really interesting. Uncharted 4 multiplayer, for people who bought the Uncharted collection, are going to get access to the multiplayer. I think, if I have my facts straight, it's somewhere in the beginning of November. And you get it for like, I think, a week, access to it for a whole week. But anyway, it's really interesting that they decided to put in the supernatural stuff. I think the people over at Naughty Dog, especially in the multiplayer department, they do a really good job of grabbing the core gameplay elements, right? So, so the rope, and also the sliding. So stuff that you would generally be able to do during a campaign. They do a really good job of transitioning it and making the maps themselves encourage that kind of movement, right? So I can see this game having a lot of verticality to it, right? Because you have the access to the rope, you are able to slide down and still be able to shoot, still attack, and yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how all those mechanics come in and really, make that gameplay dynamic and interesting, and something that we probably never seen from an Uncharted multiplayer before. So it seems like not only are we going to get a incredibly polished, probably pristine single-player experience, we're also going to be getting a multiplayer experience with that same type of quality. And like I said, the people from The Last of Us are working on it. You know that they take those multiplayer seriously, because if you played The Last of Us, you know that that was a hidden gem. The main attraction for that game was obviously the single-player campaign, but the multiplayer was just... nobody knew about it. Well, no, a lot of people played it, but it's the kind of thing that not too many people talk about. Very strong small community or mid-sized community. Obviously, the game sold extremely well, so it has to have some rather large community behind it. But still, I mean, there's obviously talented people working on this multiplayer, and I just hope it comes together. It was really interesting to see this kind of trailer because it was very cinematic, right? You were switching from Nathan Drake over to his brother, over to Sully, over to Chloe, and it was just going all over the place. So I don't know if that's how the actual game is going to look like the smoke effects running at 60 frames per second, if that's true. If I'm understanding correctly, they are going to run it at 60. You could see that it did take a tiny bit of dip in visual quality. I think the lighting specifically, you could tell. Maybe some of the textures, so maybe that's what they toned down to make sure the 60 frames per second is running smooth. Because when you're running something at 60 frames per second, you're going to have to compromise at some point. It's not going to look exactly how it's going to look in the single-player campaign because that's running at 30. So they're going to be able to do a lot more things. But it looks like they have destructibility. It looks like they have amazing smoke effects. So that's going to look awesome, especially in multiplayer. And yeah, it's going to run really, really smooth, which is what you want in a multiplayer match, right? You don't want to feel like, things are reacting too slow for you, right? You want to feel like everything is just smooth so that you don't end up screaming at the freaking game because you messed up or you died or something. Because in competitive matches, people get competitive and they get emotional, and you don't ever want to blame the game for messing that up for you. You always want to blame the player. So developers are smart for making sure that, something's about to fall over there. Anyway. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the Uncharted 4 Thief's End multiplayer. And let me know in the comments, of course, if it's running at 60 frames per second. See what I mean? At 60 frames per second. And because I'm not sure if that's confirmed. Pretty sure it is. But you guys will confirm it for me. Anyway, if you hate me, you know what to do. If you love me, you know what to do. I will see you guys all later.